AITA for baking for my children? Throwaway account for obvious reasons. My 37F ex-husband, 39 meters, and I were married for 12 years and got a divorce because surprise. Not to me. I actually was a lesbian all along. We have 2 kids together, 9F and 8 meters. My ex got remarried 2 years ago, and for the last 6 months the arrangement has been our kids stay with their dad every other weekend. His wife has 3 kids from another marriage, all 12 plus, and they don't have a super consistent custody arrangement, so I never know when they'll be with their mom. I'm a big-time hobby baker. I even made my ex's wedding cake when he got remarried, and it brings me so much joy to cook and bake for the people I love. My kids affectionately call my creations, Mommy Bakes. Since my kids started spending consistent time at their dad's, I've been sending them off with enough Mommy Bakes for the 2 of them to share for the weekend. Recently I noticed when I unpack their bags, the goodies are untouched. I asked them about it, and the first couple times they said they just weren't hungry or that their stepmom had made them something instead. This last weekend, they came home with the goodies still packaged and a note that said, "Bring enough to share." I texted their stepmom about it, and she sent me a lengthy text about how her kids don't think it's very fair that my kids get special treatment, and that going forward she'll start throwing the treats away instead of politely sending them home untouched. I haven't responded because I'm not quite sure what to say. I never thought providing food for my kids for the weekend would cause a problem. So, AITA? My dumbass read, AITA for baking my children. NTA. You are under no obligation to provide baked goods for her kids, especially since they didn't talk to you about it like grown-ups. However, in the name of family peace, it might be wise to start sending them with a large enough dessert to share if you want to continue sending food. It sounds like the situation as it stands is awkward and uncomfortable for your kids, and they are the ones who matter here. Nah, food can be a contentious topic, and you send goodies for your kids to enjoy during their time at their dad's house. You likely did not mean to exclude the kids, but it happened. She could have been nicer explaining how these treats do not suffice sharing with others. As you, introverted bookman, said, imagine 2 kids eating an amazing brownie and the other kids have none or 1/5 of one. Your behavior could be meddling with mealtime. Ate too many sweets and no room for nutritional food. So consider, when they pack to be a dad's house, let the experience be what is only offered there. You got married knowing you're a lesbian? Why did I read the title as AITA for baking my children? Info. How much is enough for the 2 of them to share for the weekend? Are you sending just 1 or 2 cookies each? Are you expecting them to sneak them late at night if others are around? To keep the peace, it might be best to send 1 dozen items. That's enough for your kids. And maybe your ex to have a few each, or other kids to eat 1 if they happen to be there. Gentle YTA. It sounds like you have good intentions, but sending food with your kids when they go to the other parent's house can come off as passive-aggressive or judgmental, as though you don't believe the other parent is providing for them. If you do want to send a treat every now and then, the polite thing to do is to send enough for everyone. Or just don't. The kids can live without home-baked treats for a couple of days. I can't believe you married a man when you knew you were gay. YTA. Other kids or not, it's rude to send desserts for your kids' time with their dad without talking to him first. Maybe he wants to take them out for ice cream or all bake cookies together. He has the right to treat them as well as decide on their meals. In other words, parent when they are with him. How would you feel if he sent home 12 days worth of treats for them to have every day during your time? This is not a good way to co-parent. I feel like your intentions are innocent. I adore doing nice things for my daughter, too, but you are stomping all over their time. NTA, you aren't showing off. You are providing your children with food that they like. It is unacceptable that she would throw your children's food away. Sorry, she is being so passive-aggressive about it. Talk to the ex and see what he says. YTA. Gently. You're creating issues at your children's other home because you like to bake for them. Bake for them when they're with you. And let their other household provide for them when they're with them. You're not sending them off to school. You're sending them to the other part of their family. And creating a divide that doesn't need to be there. I would have sent a note after the first batch. YTA. Bake them something when they are with you. Or bake for everybody, not just your children. Why are you sending them with food? Anyway? You expect they won't get fed there? It's insulting to the new wife. People say she's passive-aggressive for the note she sent you. But you're sending the kids with food in the bag may be seen as passive-aggressive, too. YTA. Bringing enough to share is a rule we are supposed to learn in kindergarten. Why does it surprise you now? But even more, your kids are with you all the time except for every other weekend. Leave the baking at home. Let their father take the family out for treats. Your kids aren't going to forget you in 2 days. Why do you need to send them food for such a short visit? You can bake something to welcome them home instead. This whole thing feels manipulative. YTA. If I were the co-parent, I'd feel you were stepping on toes here by providing all the treats they need for the weekend, which is basically removing the ability to do our own thing and provide our own treats. Then you factor in the leaving out the other children in the home. While I realize this is unintentional, it is not good for the family dynamic. It's wild to me that you think you should be sending treats for every day the kids are out of your care, regardless of how much you love to bake. YTA. It is incredibly rude of you to send dessert for your children and not enough for the other kids in the house. Also, it's your ex's time with them. He and his wife should be allowed to be with them without reminders of mommy's treats. NTA. You said you'd have no idea of knowing if her kids will be there or not. Fair enough. You could ask, but why should you go out of your way to bake for the other kids if you don't know them well? Baking for your own kids is completely reasonable. When she goes to a park and other kids get ice creams and hers don't, does she go to the other parents and kindly say, "Buy ice cream for everyone, not just your kids"? Bit extreme example, but I've read too many of these and am quite done tonight. I'm sure if her ex started giving her kids gifts while your kids were present, she wouldn't demand fair treatment for them. Info. Is there some Grim Bros level of circumstance about your life you've withheld that necessitates your children needing to ingest your baked goods every day to survive? Will they forget you? Will a curse be lifted and they're suddenly grown up? Will they turn back into field mice? Has their stepmother been explicitly sent by outside forces to foil the power of the mommy bakes? I can't make a fair call without this information. YTA. Why do you even need send treats every time with your kids? Are your kids being starved there? It's wholly unnecessary. Just keep the mommy bakes for when they get back. I get it. You want your kids to have something that reminds them of mommy while they're away so they know and feel loved. You're a softa. Send them with a plushie or one of your sweatshirts or something. You're sending just enough only for your kids. You think if the other children, doesn't matter if they're over 12. Kids are kids and they all want love. See your kids eating a brownie, they'll not be jealous? I get that they're not your kids and not responsible for them. But a great way to build resentment and animosity is allowing your kids to have treats while other kids look on. Stop being petty with food. Having said that, wow, passive-aggressive stepmom. She has kids, she should be able to understand your position. She could have just called and spoke to you like an adult. She could have just explained and asked you to save their treats for the car ride over or car ride back, or ask you if you could make enough for the family. The whole bring enough to share note and then saying she'll throw it out is just rude. I would either not send any next trip or send enough for everyone. Co-parenting is hard enough between the divorced couple. Blending families are even tougher. Hope the adults can all work together. Take care. YTA. Your kids can go a weekend without mommy bakes. Give your ex a chance to treat them. Or send over a dozen to be shared with whoever is around.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.